The thing behind the idea with a crystal grid, and we did talk about this throughout the week, is that crystals, they have a vibration to them. And we vibrate at certain levels, right? So the idea with a crystal grid is that we're using specific crystals, and we are taking the energy of those crystals, aligning them in some form to kind of supercharge their vibrational energy together, which is then going to align with pull our energy up and bring our intention into being. That's the idea behind a crystal grid. So they work on that kind of science level with the vibrations. Also, there's a whole bunch of kind of mindset stuff that comes into a crystal grid. When you have a grid, as you're setting it, when you're focusing on the thing that you want to have happen, the thing you want to manifest, bring into being, create, you're thinking about it, and you're seeing it in your mind's eye as if it's happening right now. The entire time you're placing objects on your grid space. So there's that piece to it. Also, when we see things that are really beautiful, they make us feel better. So even if you're creating a grid and it doesn't exactly, use the right crystals or the right items, if it looks good and it feels good to you, it's going to do something to your body. It's going to make you feel good. You're going to release that good juju energy, it's going to start swimming through your veins, and that's going to help you also bring into being what you want to bring into being. And you can set crystal grids anytime at all. The new moon and full moon are both great times to do it if you are a lunar type person. If you are more of a solar masculine kind of goal-driven type person, actual noon is a really good time to do it. High noon there, that's a good time to do it wherever you are in the world. And then another question people ask me frequently is, how long should they leave a grid up for? So it is, when you're setting it, it is kind of a good practice to have an idea as to how long you'll leave it up for. So maybe if you are trying to set a crystal grid to bring in some money. I always default to money because everybody always wants to bring in money. It can be for a lunar cycle. It could be for 7 days. It could be for 21 days. It could be for 3 calendar weeks. So kind of how you gauge your spiritual time, I guess, would be my answer. So it's not going to look the same for everybody. I typically do about a lunar cycle because I work with the moon. So that makes me feel good. But it does depend sometimes I set a crystal grid at the new moon, sometimes it's at the full moon. It kind of varies with me. One, because I am a mom of a baby and a toddler, and a business owner. So sometimes it just, I'm like, oh no, it's been a week since this moon, we're going to wait this one. Sometimes it just happens, and sometimes if there's something astrologically happening and I really feel called to do it at a specific time, then I will mark it down and make a point to do it at a specific time. But so those are some background things. In terms of crystals that you need, some that are really helpful to have on hand are clear quartz. My lights are dim, so sometimes I have a hard time seeing smoky quartz versus clear quartz. But clear quartz you can get for relatively, inexpensive at a metaphysical shop. And in different, sometimes, like the points or kind of just the chunks. I do have some, let me see, I think this might be rose quartz. And my lights are dim, so I can't tell. But I do have some tumbled clear quartz too. I think that's clear quartz. No, it's rose quartz. I don't know. I can't tell in here. There is a blue moon coming. Yeah, this moon it's a lunar eclipse. It's a blue moon because it's the second full moon in the month. It's also a blood moon or a red moon because the color of it will actually be like reddish because of the lunar eclipse. So this is a powerful moon for sure. This full moon in particular, some people, so you're going to get two opinions. Some people are going to tell you to, sometimes I feel like I'm like a really good teacher, and sometimes I feel like I'm not, because I always give 100 sides of a story, and then I'm like, now you choose. When people just want an answer. But so there is a camp that says that because of the lunar eclipse, yeah, and Superman, this is a big one. So some people are saying that because of the lunar eclipse and the power of this moon, maybe sit this one out and not do energy work. And then other people are like, it's so powerful, do so much energy work. So in this conversation came up a lot around the solar eclipse this past year that we had in my group anyway, about whether or not you should do magical workings under a solar eclipse. Some people were like, no, I'm sitting inside. And other people were like, yes, I'm going to be out there, like soaking that up. So I think, again, it's really up to you how you feel. If you do any kind of if you're a divination person, intuitive work, if you're a person who loves to work with fairies and elemental energy, then this is going to be a really kind of, you know, maybe wild feeling time. It might be a good time for you to do some of that work. So it is up to you though. But no, there are two sides to that story. So if you see online like an article and somebody's like, don't go out, don't do anything, and then you see another one and they're like, do all the things. It really is up to you for sure. So let's see here. Yeah, choose for yourself for sure. And Alicia says, Joanna says it's a good time to make a wish. Yeah, it really depends on who you listen to. There's a person, you know, there's a couple of moon people that are like, don't do anything. And then there's other, like Joanna, like spiritual woo-woo people that are like, do all the things. You know, personally, I'm probably going to do some divination work, and I might leave some extra flowers or baked goods on my windowsill for any fairy friends who might want to bless my house with some fairy love or something. You'll hear, now I'm totally on a tangent, we're talking fairies in our membership class in April, and we're going to talk about some people, that's another thing. Some people are like, don't let fairies by your house, and some people are like, all the fairies, and some people are like, fairies don't exist, and some people are like, of course fairies exist. So we're talking about that in April. Throw it just as random knowledge. Okay, totally on a tangent. Crystal grids. Back to basics. Focus, Sarah. Focus. Yeah, personal energy. All right. Crystal grids. All right. So, things I really recommend if you're going to buy crystals, clear quartz. Clear quartz is like the universal crystal, and you can be, if you're doing something in particular and it's like, oh, you need this kind of crystal, but you don't have it, you can use clear quartz. It's like the water of crystals. You can use it for anything, right? Moon water. I have a plant that is in desperate need of life. I plan to charge up some moon water. I watered it with solar eclipse water and pulled all the dead parts out, and it's flourishing again. I'm horrible at keeping plants alive. Anywho, okay, so clear quartz. I would say clear quartz. And Silveria's asking activating and deactivating. Yes, I'm going to talk about that if I can just stay on task and stop rambling. Not going well today. Yeah, Rebecca can drink crystal water, but never tried that. I'm going to ramble again. Some people say it again. Some people are like, yes, do it. And some people are like, no, don't do it. I would say some crystals do have like lead and things that you would not want in water, right? So you can Google safety of it, and I would do that. If you are one that's going to try it, only use tumbled stones. Ones that are not tumbled, you know, are probably going to will either flake off in your water or you could get ruined. If you don't want to drink water with crystals in it, you can put your water or your tea or your coffee, make a crystal grid around your water, and you can do it that way. Or you can put crystals in water and then put the water you're going to drink in a glass jar, put that in the bowl with the crystal water, and energize it that way. Let's see here. Okay, all right, so clear quartz is some that I would recommend having on hand in any form, and otherwise you can purchase crystals, right? I have a ton over here to show you. So the idea is that you are going to create a shape. You can buy crystal grids, mats, wood carving ones, hey Ellie, that have sacred geometry shapes on them. So the idea there then is that you are using this sacred geometry shape, which also has its own vibrational energy. You are using that shape with the vibrations of the crystals, with your intention and your vibrations of yourself to create this giant manifesting vibration. That's the idea behind using a sacred geometry shape. I do have some of those things. I actually don't typically use them though. I just make my own. So I think your intention is really the most important thing. Here, what I have in my lap is a giant cutting board, just a big cutting board that's old. And I usually put a cloth over it. This is actually a little polyester like toddler dancing scarf. That's just been on it for a while. And so I have this on here. Yellow is a good color for abundance. Yellow, confidence and work type matters. Yellow, greens, golds. So that's what this one was for, which is why this is still on here. So basically what you want to do is try, if you can, to make a symmetrical pattern though. It doesn't have to be completely. Again, I think it's more about your intention personally. I have had great success bringing in money of all sorts of amounts of money and using crystal grids and different manifesting work. And so personally, I would say your intention is the most important thing. But what I would do to begin, if you do have clear quartz crystals, I would, get them out. So I'm going to I think these might be smoky quartz. Yeah. I'm going to get some here if I can. Okay. I'm going to move my camera down here into my lap. Okay. I hope you guys can see it. It's not too... I hope my phone doesn't fall down either. So the idea is that you're going to think about the intention that you, and my cleavage, you're going to think about the intention that you want to have, the thing you want to bring into being. So if it's money, you want to make it as specific as possible and think to yourself, well, how will I feel once I have this amount of money? And see yourself having that amount of money. So say you need $1,000, right? And you know that when you get that $1,000, you're going to write the check. You're going to put the check in the bank. It's going to feel great to put it in there, and then you're going to pay this bill, and then you're going to dance a happy dance because you got this money. So see yourself, really feel it happening. And as you're seeing it, you want to place your crystals on your grid if you're making one on your own, just inventing your own one. And you want to do it symmetrically. So I would place one, up here, and then I'd place one across from it, and across from that, and across from that. So these are all clear quartz. So there's 4 there. So if I was doing money, and then maybe I'm still seeing myself with this $1,000, I've got 2 pyrite chunks. Maybe I place one here, and I place one here. And then if you have some odds and ends crystals, you can use those too. So I do have matching ones, but let's just say, for example, I have this one malachite and a green aventurine. It doesn't have to be perfect, in my opinion. Like I said, what I think is your intention is the most important thing. The center of it, you can put a crystal, or you can put, sometimes I'll put a tarot card. So this is the 10 of Pentacles. It's a really, that's a super abundant card. You can put a candle in the center. You can put a couple things in the center. For me, for like a money grid, I usually use this lead glass ball that I just love. It makes me feel abundant looking at it. So I might put this in the center with the tarot card. I have a chunk of malachite I might put in the center, a citrine tower here. So these are all things I just collected over time. If I didn't have any of these, you could put a white candle and carve the money amount in the candle. You could put a green candle if it was for money. If it was for love, this could be pink or red, or, whatever it is you're trying to do. Protection or calming, sometimes I'll make them with, like black tourmaline, clear quartz, rose quartz for kind of a calming, loving, protect my family sort of energy kind of thing. And so it can be this easy. It can be that simple. You can add layers to it and make it as grand as you want or as simple as you want. Another thing you can do is use a mirror. And the idea here is that you are reflecting the intention, and the universal energy is reflecting back up. So you can do it on a mirror as well. I actually, most recently, I just had, for kind of some abundance, I had a tarot card, this glass, a tiger's eye, pyramid and 2 little pyrite chunks, and that was it. It's not even really a grid, right? It's just a little kind of altar. And so you can really work it any way that feels good to you. So in terms of activating it and deactivating it, you're going to see this in a few different ways. Some people will use a crystal that's kind of from the center of the grid. So if I was using this tower, for example, or this point, rather, some people will touch each one and kind of like they're drawing it, kind of like, you know, like you're drawing the grid, so to speak, from the outside in. So you're imagining, you know, in your mind's eye, you're actually drawing a connection between all of the pieces. That is one way to do it. Some people, if you are a person who has magical background and you use a wand of some sort, some people will use a wand in a similar fashion. Some people will use a wand and just do a clockwise kind of turning on and maybe call a circle around it, call in the elements or something. Personally, I use my hand and I do 3 clockwise turns while I say the thing out loud. So if I was trying to bring in $1,000 to purchase a new like washing machine and dryer or something, clothes washing set, I would say, I have $1,000 for my washer and dryer. I have $1,000 for my washer and dryer. I have $1,000 for my washer and dryer. And so it is. That is what I would do. Beforehand, I usually take some time to feel into my energy, really close my eyes, breathe into it, and like try to feel my energy, my own kind of aura energy building up around it. And when I feel that feeling of like kind of sticky, like stretchy, like I can push it and pull it, and then I'm really focused on that energy, and I'm seeing me having that $1,000 and putting in that new washer and dryer and paying the bill. And then I can take that energy and I really do the same thing where I can, like, so it's kind of tangible where I'm able to feel it. And then I do my, onwards 3 times, say the thing, and so it is. To deactivate it, I would say to myself, okay, I'm going to leave this up for 1 lunar cycle. At the end of that lunar cycle, whether I received that $1,000 or not, maybe something else happened. Maybe I found a free washer and dryer on the side of the road. Maybe somebody offered to fix it for $50. You got to remember that things manifest in the best way for us at that moment, not always the way that we think. So we need to be open to receiving. And I would sit down at the end of that lunar cycle and think, okay, well, did I get my $1,000? Did I get my washer and dryer? Maybe not, but what did happen, maybe I set up a savings account just for that thing. Maybe I found a free one. Whatever step you took or whatever came into being for you, I would do the same thing with my energy, kind of feel it building, connect with my crystal grid, and then I would go counterclockwise and say, thank you for delivering exactly what I needed at exactly the right time. Thank you for exactly what I needed at exactly the right time, and I would do it 3 times, and so it is. And then mine would be deactivated. Some people will then, kind of do the opposite, take each crystal and touch it to the center of their crystal grid, kind of undoing the drawing, so to speak. If that's how they activated it, if it's a wand, counterclockwise, kind of deactivating it that way. And so those are some things you can do. Another thing, and I have a picture here, one of our enchanted sisters, Jackie, actually took this photo. I have it on a canvas on my wall. But even if you have a photograph that makes you feel super magical, you can use that too, like a printout or something. So you could use this as my grandmother's FaceTiming me. If I was trying to bring in $1,000, right? This could be the root of my crystal grid. Here, if I just had this, so I could place, I could have my glass ball here, because that's like my big thing, but you won't be able to see. So if I had my crystal tower and my malachite here, and then I could actually place my little crystals throughout the branches of this tree. If you have little, so I have a little citrine here. I do have little pieces of clear quartz somewhere. And so you can also use something like an image like this to make a crystal grid. And the idea is, in my opinion anyway, you might hear this differently depending who teaches this to you. In my opinion, the better you feel looking at the thing, the more likely it is going to work for you. And the more you look at it and the more you focus on your attention, the more it's going to work for you. So you can do it this way. If you are a person that works with lunar cycles, you can draw an image of the 8 moon phases and place a crystal on each of those and put your intention in the center and kind of use that as a crystal grid. We did a thing back in the fall when Hurricane Harvey hit the U.S. and like decimated part of Texas. We did a fundraiser with a money spell with sisters. We donated with the people who purchased a course, and then I donated all the money. $870 we donated, which was really cool. But the spell that we gave away in return for that donation was a circle with the moon phases, and then we put a penny on each one and dripped wax to kind of signify, you know, that money was going to come, right? To solidify that intention is what I'm trying to say. So you could do a similar thing where you have the moon phases and have your crystals on it. And you could put a little bit of money on each one. You could sit down at each phase of the moon and add a little bit of money, so you're making sure that you are sitting down and really putting your intention into it. So those are some different ways to do crystal grids. If you don't have crystals, you can also use natural elements. Cinnamon sticks, allspice, acorns, if you have acorns where you live, are all really abundant things, things that signify abundance. I just got a bunch of dried grapevines from my backyard. I usually have some acorns actually on hand, but I don't at this moment. But you could take something like grapevines even and draw, you know, and make them in a circle and put acorns in between them and do them exactly with just what you have on hand. You don't have to go out and purchase crystals for sure. Or take rocks and paint them in, if it was for money, for example, yellows, golds, and greens, and use those. Yeah, there's Jackie. I was telling them, Jackie, that I have this in a canvas, and I'm using it as an example for a crystal grid too. Yeah, you guys click Jackie's, I don't know if her profile links to her photography page or not, but I was saying something beautiful, like an image like this, you can use as a crystal grid as well. So yeah, Jackie is the lovely woman that I purchased my canvas from. It's this image on a big canvas on my wall. In my main living space. So yeah, you can use things you have on hand and create your own stuff as well. You can use cards, you know, whatever. So really just, you can make a grid with anything. But that is the basics of crystal grids. I'm going to pull you guys back up here. Hi. So do you guys have any questions? Jackie, I'm happy to see you. And I'm so sorry you got the flu. It hit my family earlier, the first week of the year, if you recall. If you read that anywhere, it was like all over my family. Let's see here. Well, Savaria uses a pendulum. Yes, you can use a pendulum to activate and deactivate, yeah. For sure. Let's see here. So Deborah never thought about activating. Yeah, you want to activate and deactivate. You can do, honestly, I would say that the time you spend visualizing it is going to be the best, is going to be the most important thing. Really feeling into your bones. And I'll share a story that some of you have heard before if you're not new to the Sisters Enchanted. But in 2015, I think, what year is this? 2018, 2016, my sister and I together did an abundance spell. And we did it at the same time. And I visualized the crap out of mine. And it was only for a small amount of money. We were just kind of actually having just fun together. And we were like, let's do some witchy work. And we planned this whole thing. And so we were going to call in a small amount of money, and we both did the spell together. But we did it together, but we did our own visualizations, and we wrote down what it is we were calling in separately. So for mine, I'm crossing my legs. I really visualized my thing, like to the core. I saw myself receiving this amount of money, this small amount of money. And then when I received it, I was dancing around in my vision, in my mind's eye, dancing around my sister's kitchen. And it was only $40 actually. And I saw myself dancing around her kitchen saying, I got $40, I got $40, holding a bubble tea from this restaurant in town. So it was very specific. I had this bubble tea and I was dancing around, I got $40, I got $40. And my sister was dancing around with her bubble tea. So this was my visualization. So we did the spell and we talked about our visualization afterwards. And I told her about mine. I was like, yeah, we're dancing. We're in a circle going around your kitchen table. I got $40. And she was like, oh, mine wasn't that clear. Mine was just like, I got $40 and I put it in my purse and went like shopping or something. I don't remember what it was, but she like didn't feel it, you know? And so I walked around for like weeks just in my head, like, I got $40 and being silly like that. And, you know, I got $40. And the time my daughter was probably like, what was she? She was born in 2014. So yeah, no, this was 2000. I can lose track of years. She was probably 2. So I was just like, hold her. I got $40. And that summer, I came into, from various streams, I've shared this story, a lot more than $40, a lot more, from unexpected sources. Some came, I had a lot of student loans. Some came from a family member that unexpectedly offered me some money to pay my undergraduate student loans because I have a hefty graduate loan bill. And so I held a little bit left on undergrad, so somebody offered that totally unexpectedly. We came into some money. My husband's grandmother had passed and he wasn't in the will to inherit any money at all. And a year later, the same summer, somebody offered, like couple family members came together and offered them some of their inheritance, which we weren't expecting. This was a full year later. Nobody had talked about it or mentioned offering us any money. And also my husband won money at a casino. So all this together was multiple thousands of dollars, totally unexpectedly. My sister got zilch, but it was the visualization. That is still the most money that I have ever called in. And it was the strongest, most powerful visualization I have ever. For a good month, I just walked around like, I got $40, I got $40, thinking about this bubble tea and how good it was going to be. And I would like look at the calendar and be like, ooh, what day of the week can I go get this? What day of the week can I go get my bubble tea? Like, looks like I'm pretty busy all these days, but this day, oh, she's off, my sister's off from work this day, and so am I, and my husband's gonna be home, so we could probably go then. And I like totally was like in for this $40 in this bubble tea. And that is still, to this day, any manifesting money work I do, the most amount of money I've ever called in unintentionally, like completely by surprise ever. But it was also the most powerful visualization I ever had. That really silly visualization was the most powerful one I ever had. It's just like, I didn't worry about it because it was only $40, you know, it didn't stress me out. I was just like, oh, it's going to be great. This bubble tea is going to be delicious and it's going to be like creamy and good. And it's going to be so, because our place makes it totally non-traditional. It's like sugar and not good for you. And I was like, it's going to be delicious and we're going to dance around. And it was the best ever. So yeah, all of this crystal grid stuff aside, I really think it's your intention and your ability to feel into it that is going to be the best ever. Let's see here. So yeah, Stephanie, they're not complicated at all. Donna's a photographer. Awesome. Let's see here. So Kat wants to know crystals for self-confidence. Yellow crystals, citrine is good for that. Hey, Michelle. Rebecca, how many crystals are together? I tried to do one with small stones and it was crazy energy, so I wondered if I used the right stones for the first crystal grid. You can use any, if you felt like it was a lot of energy for you, you know, just use, like, you could just use a crystal and like one crystal and an oracle card or a tarot card, or write your intention down and just put the crystal on the intention and use one. You don't have to do a grid style, in my opinion. Yeah, they're not, I don't think they're complicated. Mars. Let's see here. Katie wishes she had a sister and has 2 daughters. Yeah, I love my sister. We didn't get along growing up, but we get along now. Yes, sing it in your head. I got $40. It is like law of attraction. That's a lot of what spell work and prayer is, whether it's spell work or prayer, you know, we're trying to attract something into us. Convert to English pounds, yeah. Yes, let's see here. I've got a boyfriend. That's funny. Yeah, that's pretty much like spell work, prayer, all that stuff is just raising your energy, right? Or setting your mind on something that will come to you in the best possible way, for sure. So that is my crystal grid spiel for you guys. So I'll download this video and I'm gonna put all the videos in one email. So you guys have the videos and all of the PDFs from last week in one place. So you can just save it in your email inbox and you can watch the Chakra Foundations videos, this video, Valinda's Kundalini Yoga chat, plus all of the PDFs from last week in one email. So they're all in one place for you. Going forward. And then, like I said, this weekend I'll announce the prize winners. You guys have any other questions about crystal grids? They're actually pretty easy things. It's really just about your intention. Jennifer, my opinion about chants. Like chanting in meditation or yoga work or anything like that, or like what specifically kind of chanting? I think that if you are called to chant, then I think that would be, could be something great for you. I know that Valinda's work with Kundalini Yoga has a lot of, there's a lot of chanting in there. It's heavily chanting based. Is that a way to say that? So yeah, no, chanting definitely holds a place in bringing things into being for sure. Let's see here. There was another question. How you add the oils. So like essential oils in a crystal grid, you can anoint crystals with oils. You can anoint, but you want to be careful. Certain crystals might not mesh well with oils, right? You can anoint candles. You can make a spray and spritz your crystal grid. You can take oils and draw a sigil like on your crystal grid base or on your body. Those are all good ways. Erin, if we are going to get some crystals, are there any you would recommend besides clear quartz? Well, basic ones that to have on hand are things like rose quartz, black tourmaline, citrine, green aventurine, red jasper. Those are pretty all inexpensive ones and pretty all inclusive of pretty much anything you would want to do. So if you have those, you kind of got your bases covered. Selenite is nice to have on hand. And yeah, those would be like the ones. Tiger's eye maybe, if you're called the tiger's eye. But rose quartz, amethyst. Rose quartz, amethyst, red jasper, green aventurine. Those are going to be like, if you have those, you can pretty much do anything. Smoky quartz, I see somebody saying. So Coralie has 7 chakra blends with doTERRA oils. Yeah, Kat, it's really not a complicated thing. Yeah, you don't have to have a lot of crystals. I actually don't have that many for like a crystal person. I've got 2. I have this little box of crystals here. There's various ones in there. And then I have this bowl, which is a little bit heavy now, which has got different crystals. And then a few floating around, like this black tourmaline, a rose quartz. I love this piece of rose quartz. It fits very nicely in my hand when I'm angry. Little selenite pieces. And of course I have a big selenite piece. And smoky quartz, yeah. Let's see here. Back a grid outside to do a rain dance because we need it badly. So for rain, well, you could do, anything, maybe blue and clear for water. You want to be careful with what crystals you leave outside, though, and get wet. And some, if you put them outside under the sun, will fade. But maybe like anything associated with the water element. So I'm thinking like blues and clear quartz. Have I ever heard of, I don't even know how to pronounce that. I don't think I've heard of that one. My crystal usage is pretty basic, I would say. Well, no, I know more than I guess the average person, but I'm not like a crystal collector, I guess is a better way to say it. I kind of just, if I need something, I don't have it, or I go to the metaphysical shop and I'm like, what looks pretty and what am I called to? And that's what I purchase. No, this is a selenite egg, actually. Yeah. Let's see here. Love selenite. Yeah, all right. So that's it. So you guys have any questions before I jump off? And who else am I seeing? I've got lots of things going on today. If you're in our membership at 4 o'clock, I'll see you guys for our Florida water concoction. Rhonda needs a coffee cup. I know. I have to get the ones that have been ordered by our Enchanted Journey members wrapped up and dealt with. The shipping is a small nightmare, it turns out. Katie has way too many crystals. Ruby is the first thing I ever bought. A paycheck that you earned. That's amazing. Rhonda, I will. Let's see here. Okay, yeah. So any other questions, you guys? Anointing, is that like touching them? Yeah, it's putting it on them with the intention of the oil that you're using. So like you could use like a citrus oil or something for some abundance work, and then if you wanted to like anoint a candle with it, you could rub it. But if you're using oils, always dilute them properly. But you could rub it on your hands and then anoint a candle with it for sure that way, depending on the oil. So Maggie wants to know if a person can join the membership anytime during the year. Currently, the membership is closed up to new members because it's a bonus in the chakra class, and I'm pretty much a one-man band over here with my sister Anna, who helps me out as much as she can, and it is an awful lot of work for me to manage all the new coming people in the different classes. So until I get caught up with our tarot class, our chakra class, and the membership, currently the membership is closed, but it will open again for members. I also write a handwritten note and put a sticker in the mail for all of the new members. And I have, between our tarot class and that, I have a stack of 45 letters that need to be written. So I'm a little bit behind things right now. Let's see here. Amanda's organizing stuff. Deborah's going to be singing all weekend. Yes, sing it. Sing aloud. Donna's favorite thing to do is stone mining. Awesome. Stephanie needs to order a cup. Sue, I think that's the first comment I'm seeing from you, as far as I can see anyway. So you can ask again, Sue. So Mars, in case of some crystals, you could put in a candle. Yeah, or you could draw something. Yeah, I need employees. I know. I need something. I need something for sure. Rebecca, what is the moon phases class? We have a free class on the moon phases, which talks about using the phases of the moon for intention setting and all that good stuff. The grids you sit in, are they for healing? Sue's asking. Like one of those, like a pyramid style? You can create a grid with yourself, sitting in the center of crystals and tarot cards. I did this at the solar eclipse. I laid out tarot cards in the order, kind of like tarot cards that I wanted to be stories I wanted my life to follow. What am I trying to say? Like the ones I wanted to have in my life, those themes. And I created kind of a man grid, a Sarah grid with them. You can do that. And there is a trend now where people make these copper pyramids and sit in them for healing and manifesting work. Katie, how'd I miss the tarot class? I don't know. It was in, maybe you were following us then. It was in November. We did a month-long free tarot class, and our tarot journey class, which is the paid class, is running right now. That's a 5-month-long class. It's a whole tarot. It's called Tarot Journey, a compendium of tarot. It's literally like every tarot class you need plus some you don't need. It's like so much tarot knowledge. Yeah, I know. Jackie, I keep going back and forth, like what I need, what I don't need. Some weeks I'm busier than others, and then I'm like committal and non-committal, and as Jackie knows probably, my husband, he decided he was going to quit his job, which is fine. So, then I, as the only breadwinner of the family, right, I like just set back my hiring an assistant a couple months is all. Corley, it should be thesistersenchanted.com/moon phases. Should get you in there. Will there be any one? That's the one I'm really interested in. Tarot. There will be another tarot class probably in June. We'll do a free one again and run the paid class. If you go into our main Sisters Enchanted group, there are over 100 videos on tarot in there, probably upwards of 20. Last year in May, a year and a half ago, we did 78 days of tarot, and there's a video for every card in the deck in the video section. And then we did it again this year, but we did 3 videos a day. By we, I mean my sister. I had a baby in May, so I was like, having a baby. But she did 3 cards a day this time around. So there are an excessive amount of tarot videos in our main group. They are hard because they're in Facebook, though. You got to really weed through them, but they are there. Yeah, so the moon class is sistersenchanted.com/moon phases. Roma loves sitting in grids. Yeah. Cedarwood's a really good grounding one. Mars and those 3 lower chakras and grounding is part of your physical world. So yeah. Is a chakra class live once a week? Yeah, so the live chakra class, you get a unit of like a new unit of materials once a week for 8 weeks, and then there is a live chat also once a week for 8 weeks. 2 of the weeks there's 2 chats because there's 2 bonus instructors. Luna Wickwood is teaching a class on everyday chakra kind of health, incorporating that in your everyday. And Erin, my friend from Full Circle Herbals, is teaching a class on herbs for chakras, inner and outer chakra stuff. So those 2 weeks you'll get a chat from me and from them. And then if you're in Belinda's class, you'll get an extra live with her in March. But the 8 weeks are released one at a time, and then at the end they're open to you forever, so you can watch them forever and ever and ever. Do you have a free quick tarot class? thesistersenchanted.com/tarot basics. Try that. If any of these links don't work, you can email us at magic@thesistersenchanted.com, and we will send you the videos and printables, because as I said, I'm kind of a one-man band, and some of these links are old and haven't been updated in a while. So Rebecca, is that around now or coming up? Something ongoing. Also wondering where we go when this chakra class goes, or page or group. Yeah, so you can go to, if you search in groups, the Sisters Enchanted, that's our main group. And the email that comes out every Monday, usually I link the group in there because I do the card reveal in there as well. Yeah, Maggie says he can help you. Yeah. Maggie, you do not know my husband very well. Which one's fine? Rebecca, I'm not sure what you're asking. I'm losing track of the comments. So Jackie wants her husband to quit his job, except not the great business to support. Yeah, no, it's cool. My husband quit his job. I can support us, but it just, the extra money that I was going to put into hiring, I was pumped and primed to hire somebody to help me with cooking, cleaning, and the kids, and a virtual assistant to help me manage admin stuff. And so when he quit working, that kind of just set that back a little bit. That's all. It's still coming. Rebecca, yeah. Maggie, what day and time? So the live classes will be at varied times because, well, there's people from all over the world in the class. So from Australia, you know, to the west coast of the US. So I try to vary the times for the live chats because of that. And also, you know, I have different things happen in my life. So I don't have a day and time for each chat. It will likely be, the chats I think will be on Thursdays. The times will change to try to accommodate other people. So Rhonda's working on her online business so that her hubby can quit and we can travel North America. Yeah, we do. I travel out with my kids. Nowhere exciting, just visiting family and stuff. But that's our plan, is to be able to travel anywhere because I can work from anywhere. So yeah, no, it's nice that my husband's home. He's not really stay-at-home dad material. So that's the only thing we're just working on that right now. Let's see here. Only saw moon phases class for October. If you sign up for it, you should get the links to the replay videos. I might not have updated the page. It might still say October, but you should get the links to the video replays. Like I said, you can email us at magic@thesistersenchanted.com. And it might give us like 2 days. It might take 2 days or so. I'm pretty bogged down, but we'll send you the links to the videos and the printables if they don't pop up for you. Just give me a few days. Michelle, making the transition. Yeah, it used to be my husband just up and quit his job, no idea what he's thinking. Now it's completely, I support my family. Yes, I was so annoyed when my husband quit his job without asking. He's self-employed too, but he just stopped taking on work, like, without asking. A few months back. It was interesting. Now I'm cool with it. Now we just gotta get him some parenting skills under his belt. And then, you know, we'll be good. Right now I'm like parenting all the time, working, parenting, and it's like, Sarah needs some space, people. Oh yeah, sigils. Mars, what class do we talk about sigils? I think Everyday Magic. I don't know if you're in that class. There's a video about sigils. Deborah, well, thanks for being here, Deborah. I appreciate it. All right. Well, those of you, okay. So yes, sigils, Karen says. I think in Everyday Magic there was a sigils unit, and then I could do one in Enchanted Journey, of course. Plus, I talk about it whenever. Maybe I'll talk about that in the main group coming up or something. Anywho, I'm gonna jet off because I hear my baby crying. And he's been crying forever. He's always crying. He's always crying when I'm on a live chat. Otherwise, he just sits around fine. It's like he knows. Did you guys watch yesterday when my daughter crashed Belinda's chat? She just like came, and right after that, she punched me. P.S. If anybody's wondering, if anybody's like, Sarah, like, you seem all together. My kid punched me as soon as I closed my computer up. So just so you know, there's nothing's all together. Let's see here. Yeah, some holiday time, yes. Magic@thesistersenchanted.com. If you get any emails from us, you can always just reply to them and it'll come to our email. So you can just find an email and reply to it and you'll get us, and that's perfectly fine. It doesn't have to be relevant to the email. Just reply to any email. But no, that does take sometimes a few days for us to email back, especially if you email me personally. It takes me sometimes like a week. I try to like look for high priority, like I can't get into my account, my credit card froze, like whatever, like mass issues I try to deal with first. Yes, I am just like everybody. Got punched in the face by a 3-year-old yesterday. So that's it. If you guys want to join me in Chakra Magic, remember that starts Monday. There's extended payment plan. It is in US dollars. So if you're in the UK, it is less in pounds. If you're in Australia or Canada, it is more where you are with the conversion. Nothing I can do about that. And so Belinda offered up a bonus class today if you want to join in the full package. The materials are yours forever, and you get free trial period in our membership, which is awesome too. It's really a good group too. It's a really fun Facebook group. And yeah, toddlers. And that's it. So if you guys have any questions, let me know, and I will pick prize winners this week, and you can still ask questions in the group throughout the week. All right, and I'll see you guys later. Hope you all have a good day. Bye.